Hey guys, this is Rosemary from Didi's World. Well, it's been a while, a few months actually. One of my most watched videos is the why I moved to Ghana, or the tips for people who would like to move to Ghana, and it's been very popular and I've received lots of mails and questions about it and lots of requests to do a second video. So I thought I would finally do that and share that with you guys. So I wrote a few things down, just 5, because I mean there's so much more you could share, but then this video would be too long. So here it goes. I'll start with the good things. Obviously, the ultimate great thing about moving to Ghana, the weather is always great. Ghana only has 2 seasons, so we don't have 4 seasons like you do in Europe or even in America. For those who are coming from there, there's only the dry season and the raining season. And within that, you have, within the dry season, sometimes you have, well, not sometimes, you also have Harmattan, which is funny because most people describe it as winter in Ghana, but it's in the dry season. It feels a bit more chilly in the morning, and the sky is very gray and dusty, and there's a cool and dry wind from the Sahara, which brings a lot of dust with itself. So that's not so much fun. So your skin tends to dry up very quickly, your hair and your lips. So yeah, you need to put more shea butter on. But basically, the weather alone makes it so much fun. Number 2, for me, it's learning about the Ghanaian culture. I think it's a great opportunity to really delve deep into the culture, because Ghana has a very rich culture, and every tribe has has something else going on. So it's really fun to discover it. And if you are Ghanaian, you'd be surprised of all the other things that you've never heard about. So yeah, that's a good reason. Number 3 for me was all the exotic fruits and vegetables, all the exotic food. If you follow my Instagram, you would know that I'm a foodie, and I made, I think, 1 video or 2 videos about cooking a meal, and I've shared a few on Facebook and Instagram or Snapchat. But I absolutely love to eat, and I love to discover food from all over, and Ghana, or Accra in particular, it's great to discover new cuisines, because you'd be surprised at the number of different restaurants they have here from different cultures, Turkish, Korean and all that. But also the local cuisine is really exquisite, and you could drink coconut juice every day for like a cedi. Okay, now it's like 2 cedis since I moved, but getting coconut juice was so cheap. Drinking it every day, having pineapple, fresh pawpaw, all these exotic fruits. Exotic because here it's just a regular fruit, but when you're in Belgium or in the States, I can imagine that you don't eat those fruits every day. So I just love to eat those things. Number 4 is pushing your boundaries. I think that's not very specific to Ghana, but just specific to moving to another country on your own. Making the decision to just step out of your comfort zone can be very scary, but also liberating. And coming here was a big step for me, but I've learned so much, and I've learned a lot about myself, and I really recommend it only for that. If you're a parent, because I had mails from parents saying that their kids would like to make this big move and they're a bit scared, and someone encouraging them, I would definitely say this is great for your child's maturity and development. So if they want to come to Ghana or any other country for a year, 2, 3 years, why not support them into that big step, because they would definitely help them. Number 5 is they get to know people from all over the world. When you move to Ghana, you may think, well, you're moving to an African country, so most people here are black. Yes, obviously, but then there are also people from all over the world who have decided to make this big move too. What I did is I didn't really limit myself to just the friends that I met in the beginning, but I just really broke out and joined different groups, expat groups, but then also other international groups to just get to know people, volunteers, all sorts of people who come here for different reasons with their families and so on, just to get to know their culture. There's a huge Indian community here, Lebanese community who's lived here for forever. So they're basically just Ghanaians. It's a really a good way to make friends from all over the world. And who knows, once you leave the country, you could just have friends from all over the place. So these were my 5 good reasons. 5 good reasons to move to Ghana. Let's move to the other not so good reasons, or what can be not so cool about moving to Ghana. And again, this applies to any other place, I guess. Number 1 is that it can be very lonely, because especially if you move here without family or friends, so you don't get to see your family as much as you think. I lived with my brother. We saw each other only in the evening or quickly in the morning. And then when I moved on my own, you just have to start making new friends. And although I'm a sociable person, I make friends easily. You realize that if you're looking for long-term friendships and long-term relationships, even intimate relationships, it can be a very tough place to make those friends, because people already have their circle of intimate friends, and it's really hard to break into those groups. For the expats here, I think a lot of the concern is that you make friends with people, you build relationships, and then they leave, because a lot of people here are only here for a year, 2 years, 3 years until their contract is over. And those that came for other reasons, they may last longer, but then people change because it's an evolution. They just arrive, they make, you might, the first few months you might have a good vibe with one person, and then as time goes on, you see that you're not so similar after all. So it could be a tough place to make lasting relationships, I would say. But it's not impossible. I mean, I got married here, so I met my husband here, so it is possible. I would say that's the way to go about when you come to Ghana or any other country. Don't stick to the first group you meet, just try to meet different people, and yeah, good luck. Point 2 is the cultural differences. You realize very soon that your approach or your mentality is quite different from a lot of people here, and sometimes it can cause clashes and misunderstandings. So it's really important, I would say, to put yourselves in the shoes of the other person and to really understand the culture, and stop complaining that much, like, well, I don't see why they do this doesn't make sense, because probably it doesn't in your eyes, but in their eyes it makes sense. And it's very difficult for most people here to feel like you just came from outside and you're coming to tell me what to do or what's right. So really avoid coming with those statements such as it doesn't make sense or that's so backwards or whatever. That's not going to make you friends, especially not with government officials. Number 3 is the fact that things may sometimes be totally overpriced for basic stuff. Silly things that you're thinking, that's just $1 or even less than $1 or 50 cents or whatever. But here you may end up paying a lot of money for it, so that's sometimes annoying. So what I do is whenever I go to Belgium, I stock up on those things, very simple things that you can take with you and last for a long time. You're also used to certain creams and products, so I used to bring lots of my day cream and shampoo and conditioner with me. Meanwhile, I've found a new line here that I really like, and also want to support local production, and local companies, local entrepreneurs. So try to identify as quickly as you can brands that you're comfortable with and that actually give back to society. Number 4, that something that I find quite annoying, and that's just me because I like to travel a lot, is that traveling within Africa quite expensive is super high. I mean, I would have loved to go to Ivory Coast, for instance, for so long, but flying alone sometimes is, if I add $100, I could be going to London. So it's a bit absurd sometimes thinking that it's just around the corner, but then you have to pay so much for it. The thing which is my last point, which is number 5, that I don't really like about Ghana, and that only counts for those who don't have an expat contract, such as myself. Make sure you if you want to maintain the same lifestyle that you had outside, or even better, that you find a way to have these expat contracts, because obviously they're the dream. You have they pay for your travel expenses, for your house and transportation, and so much more if you have kids, for the schooling and a lot more. But and if you don't get all that, at least try to see contract where you get paid in a foreign currency, because the money, you know, it's been so up and down, fluctuating so much that it's just not fair. Because yeah, you may live in Ghana, but you probably go back to the country where you came from once a year, and the salary that you're getting here could never pay for that. So unless you have lots of savings, it's you know, long term, it's just not doable. So at least make sure that, you know, your salary is in foreign currency, or that they pay you the equivalent of that. Things have become so expensive, and it's just not right. If you're earning, let's say 2,000 cedis 3 years ago and 2,000 cedis now, it's still not the same, because things become more expensive. And if you plan on coming back to the country, your country of origin, it will become very hard for you to travel with that salary. So yeah, make sure you discuss, you know, you have a good deal when you're signing your contract. And I hope these 5 advantages and disadvantages helped you. If you haven't yet watched my video about why I moved to Ghana, the good things to know before you make the move, don't hesitate to watch the video. I'll put the link in the description box here below. If you like this video and enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. You can follow my adventures and what I'm doing on Instagram on Didi's World, or just Rosie Posey, Rosie with a Y, Posey with a Y as well. I'll put all the details in the description box, my Facebook and my Snapchat on Didi's World. See you next time. Bye.